reflection that we are most used to, the one that will come up the most in what you guys will see this year, is the reflection where there's a negative outside the function. And the reflection where the negative's outside the function is a vertical reflection. It reflects your graph across that x-axis. Okay? And so when you're looking at this reflection here, so this is vertical reflection, or reflection across the x-axis. Okay, we're still going to do the same thing. We find our horizontal asymptote, which in this case is 0, nothing, no shifting. And when you plot your 2 points, you should recognize, again, the reflection is more recognizing what it's going to look like. Okay? Because if you have reflection across the x-axis and a base of 3, instead of it going up like this, you now expect it to be reflected and go down in this manner. So let's take a look at what the plotting of 2 points does. So the value of x that gives us a 0 here is 0. And when x is 0, what's y? Negative 1. So 0, negative 1. Notice that the reflection took care of itself in the plotting of points. And now do you move to the right or to the left of 0 when you test your second point? Our base is 3. Again, the negative falls outside of it. The negative is just, it's something separate. But when you look at your base 3, is that greater than 1 or less than 1? Greater than 1. So we move 1 to the right, which is 1. And when we plug that in, 3 to the first is 3 times a negative is negative 3. So 1, negative 3. And again, this is going to take care of itself. But notice it was what you expected. Here's exponential growth, looks like this. When it's reflected across that x-axis, it should open down in that manner. All right, so let's take a look at this second example here. Again, the horizontal asymptote. There's no vertical shift, so it's just y equals 0 again. And then the plotting of 2 points. So I start with 0. Now again, you see that negative outside. The negative outside tells you you're looking at reflection across the x-axis. But when you plot the 0, it'll take care of itself. So when x is 0, what's 1/3 to the 0? 1 times this negative gives us negative 1. And now are you picking a point to the right or to the left of 0? Since this base is 1/3, it's less than 1. We move to the left. 1 to the left is 0 is negative 1. And 1/3 to the negative 1 is 3, and then the negative out front gives you the negative 3. So negative 1, negative 3 gives us this value here. And so when you look, again, the general shape is what we were expecting to see. This is our decay function, right? Looking down this way, and then we reflect it across the x-axis, so we wind up with that red graph, which is, again, what we would expect to see.